And especially if your father or uncle, they're, I don't know, egoistic masters and they need only money and they want only money, they would marry you with Quasimodo because you couldn't see if she's good looking or bad looking or anything.
That's it.
Yeah, and she was completely covered, so you couldn't see if she's anything.
They didn't travel on airplanes and get full body scans.
They had something like that. Believe me. You can do, I mean, a huge woman can fit in this thing.
Yeah.
And if she's covered, she can be, I don't know, whatever she wants to be. I mean, it can be a man. As far as I know.
Nobody really wear this anymore, right?
Nah,
Okay.
they died with the Turks.
So
As soon as Austrians came,
what's the time period we're talking when there was this
Turks.
major influence with the Turks?
Well, Turks came on the end of the 14th century and they stayed here until 1878.
Wow.
That's the
Okay.
year we were sold. So they here
Not
stayed
too
here
long
for
ago.
let's
400
say,
years.
300, 400 years.
Yeah, during the
They stayed
Ottoman,
here for a
Ottoman
long,
Empire.
long period. When they came here, they conquered everybody. I mean, they didn't conquer only Bosnia and Herzegovina, although we were really fighting. We didn't surrender like that. Serbia almost surrendered. We didn't. We were fighting against them. They conquered Croatia, also a huge part of Croatia. They didn't conquer Dubrovnik.
That's
Dubrovnik
King
made a
Dubrovnik.
deal with them. Yeah, because Dubrovnik was always in bad relations with Venetians, so they needed some sort of, let's say, I don't know, they needed a bodyguard,
Yeah.
and then came the Turks, and they made a deal about trading, and these people provided them with a shelter. Well, that shelter, they gave them their way out on the sea. Bosnia and Herzegovina never had, let's say, a shore.
Yeah.
But when Turks came, they offered them help, and these people gave them 22 kilometers of coast, like that, and we still have it.
Neum?
It's
Neum.
still Neum, yeah, it's still part
Yeah.
of Croatia. It's
Our
still
ship
part
is
of
there.
Bosnia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
So
there.
when you go from, let's say, Split to Dubrovnik, you have to go through Bosnia and Herzegovina. So their country is divided into half, and it's divided by us.
Did the Mongols and Tatars ever come near here or no?
Nah,
Genghis Khan? No.
nah. It was
They
too
kind
high
of
up
they
for
went up
them.
high to
They were
We
Poland.
have
too
many
busy up
mountains.
north. Yeah.
Ah.
They were coming and we were just laughing from top. funny people. Yeah, well, they of course they were avoiding the mountains, of course,
Yeah.
and we had the high mountains. Our people were mostly highlanders, and we were making towns in towers
the hill.
on the top of the mountain. We couldn't come there. You can imagine them with those horses. They weren't that equipped
Yeah. They were
for the mountains. But everybody else who was on the fields, they died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I told you we had little tribes and Bogomils. We had huge Highlander knights. So we were difficult. That's why we were difficult for the Turks in the beginning. It took them 20 years, but it took them 80 years for Herzegovina. Even Bosnia has a lot of more fields than we do. We have a lot of mountains. And during the communist era, during the Second World War, the most of the battles were happening inside of Bosnia and Herzegovina. A lot of mountains and partisans could hide easily. So next room is theaters, music schools, and everything else we needed. And they connected whole Bosnia and Herzegovina with trains, which is really good. We didn't have that before. So this was the military building. Yeah, we had the military camps on both sides of the town. North military camp and south, and this was in the middle. This was in halfway from both of them. Before the war, it was, let's say, some sort of mall. Not communist mall, not American mall. We didn't have a lot of shops. And it was destroyed totally during the 1992 to 1995 war. Actually, this building was destroyed immediately. We received some money for reconstruction from the World Bank, but our politicians they just stole. But the good thing is their kids are now really well and they're studying in Austria and Germany and they're doing good. ticket, you can buy it inside of my travel agency. Also postcard stamps, there's a yellow box to put inside. And I want to show you something else. Please. Oh, no.
If you want, you can try more.
So this is called the Black Book. This is evidence of how destroyed the old bridge and this whole old town was. So
You can take as many as you want.
from 1992 till 1995. So if you want to see it, we sell it here. It's €3, I think. First war started here when Slovenians wanted to take their independence. And they got it really fast and really soon, like normal democratic people. They just took it. Serbs couldn't attack them because Austria was here. So this is Austria, this is Slovenia. And when Serbs attacked it, it was... they couldn't. So Austria had Austria behind their back, so it was normally. So Croatia and Bosnia got most destruction. For example, this part of Croatia, where is Osijek and Vukovar, which was the closest to Serbian border, Vukovar was completely destroyed. I don't know if you heard about it, but it was completely destroyed. All this part was a part of kako se zvalo? Srpska Krajina, or Serbian region of Croatia. So when Serbs attacked, they took this part. They took a huge part of Bosnia, and of course Montenegro was already on their side. Sarajevo was completely destroyed. Mostar got destroyed in 2 wars. So first war was in 1992 when the Croats and Muslims were on one side against the Serbs. In 1993 that alliance just fell apart. And Muslims were fighting against the Catholics, against the Croats. And that's when Mostar survived the most of its destruction in 1993 till 1994. And that second war lasted for maybe a little bit more than a year, which was nothing. And this war lasted for 3 years. So Mostar got, I don't know, crashed during the 1993 to 1994 war. And when that war stopped, again, Muslims and Croats were really good. They were fighting on the same side against the Serbs, and that war lasted till 1995, which is ridiculous. And I don't like to show this map at all, because it's they didn't have a lot of trouble building the bridge because we had materials. The only task for the man who built it was that if the one-arch bridge will stand still. He wasn't sure. You had one-arch bridges before, but they were Roman bridges and they were like this high from the river. It was nothing. So he had a true problem. So he made a prototype. The Hayrudin, the architect, made the prototype. The small bridge on your way back to the buses. You're gonna see a small bridge exactly like this one on your left side. When you see it, remember my word. That's a prototype made in 1558, 8 years before the old bridge. And this bridge was built in 1566. It was finished and open. They say the architect never saw its opening. He was waiting in one of the caves near Mostar for the messenger to come and tell him that the bridge stands still. As soon as the messenger came, he just went away. He never came back. He didn't like us a lot. We were different people for him. So this tower is called Neum, and that tower over is called Tara. You know, in a Dođu that Mostar got its yeah, right. Take your son.